going on, world? I'm Wesley from A Connection TV, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. Excuse me. And I am here to talk to you guys about Love and Hip Hop episode 3. Now, I saw the first episode. Y'all know I reviewed the second episode. I'm going to talk about this episode. Not a whole lot happened in this particular episode that had me all excited and carrying on, but we're going to get through this little quick review. If this is your first, god damn, that's a fat ass baby. That is not cool. It looks like the white snowman from Ghostbusters. How are they happy about putting that fat ass child? Okay. I'm watching Jimmy Kimmel. That's Fat Baby Bingo. That's terrible. That's not. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to this. Last episode where we left off, Tammy and Betty were fighting. Tammy felt it necessary to get at Betty's head because Betty was coming for her husband and then started coming for Tammy. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if you know that you are that chick or that dude or you have that kind of husband or whatever, if you're solid about what you are representing, there's no reason for you to feel like you have to defend yourself up against somebody that you think is irrelevant anyway. Right? Right. So I was kind of confused as to the reason why Betty got up. And D. Smith is just sitting there like, what's going on? And I'm like, okay. I couldn't understand this. I really didn't. She apologized to D. Smith, and D. Smith says, I like you too. And we move past that. Dime and Tiarra meet and she explains to her what happened. Dime says, I don't know. I didn't know that bitch. And she's like, I don't associate with trash. I'm thinking to myself, I'm confused. I kind of thought you did, but okay. Whatever. She says, I knew Scrapp since he was 16. Tiarra tells Dime about the King family and how she held him down. Says I was giving him money and holding him down while he was put away. So I'm thinking, what is with these fat ass babies? Okay. Scrapp says he has court issues now, court problems, and he talks to Stevie J, who he calls his uncle, and Stevie J calls him his nephew, whatever the case may be. I would have to believe, or we would have to know that Stevie J is. We just would have to know that, right? Of course, Stevie J. Of course. Stevie J is back. He chose to come back to be on the show. That's why he's back, because of the fucking show. Scrapp says Tiarra is keeping the kids away. Scrapp might have to go in for some time. Sounds like a New York storyline to me. Does anybody agree? This is a New York storyline. It really is. Medicis, really. Tiarra is okay. So here's how I kind of collaborated the stories. Right. Tiarra is Mimi and Tommy is Jocelyn. A spitting image of Jocelyn, fire-wise. Like, I would love to see Jocelyn and Tommy go at it. But Tommy is no joke. She's like Cleo, but a skinny version. Like, she's really abrupt. Really abrupt. It's interesting, really. Tammy tells Waka about her fighting Betty. She tells him to be more romantic. He says, I'm tired. I've been working all day. Betty and Lil Scrappy are in the studio. Betty's voice is high and pitchy like this. He says, I need a rider. Okay. They mention Scrappy and Betty doing a snap and that Bambi got upset and he took it down. So Scrappy respects Bambi to a certain degree, or respects her well enough to take down video of him doing something with someone else or just partying or chilling with someone else. I think that's pretty cool, because I feel that way as well. Like, when you like someone or when you have history with someone, making them feel some sort of way is not always the best. So you shouldn't do that. And if you do make them feel some sort of way, you should be able to respond to correct it. So I like the fact that he took the thing down. Dime, Mimi, Aaron, and Chris go to Tammy's cover party, and Dime talks to Mimi about it and explains what happened at the party. Mimi says, if I see these girls, they will get a piece of my mind. Mimi, shut up. You aren't a fighter, and you never will be a fighter, and Tommie will whoop your ass. Let's not. Deb says, we aren't homophobic, so why are you fighting people? Tammy explains the situation. They explain to Tammy that the girls are messed up, and she blames D. Smith for not doing anything. Shout out to Shad for being on the tube. I thought that was pretty cool. Stevie and Mimi talk, and Mimi tells Stevie she has a girlfriend. She also says that Chris was the best she ever had. Best she ever had. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Bambi goes to see Scrapp at his place. Bambi comes in the apartment like a boss. Like the assistant chick didn't even bother to like, have an issue with her. And Bambi just like, yeah, excuse us. Yeah, please. And she comes in like, it was crazy. I'm like, okay, Bambi, do you, boo. Okay, do you, right? It was interesting. I thought it was funny as hell how, Scrappy calls over Chili, and Chili goes to Scrappy, but then Scrappy says Chili on the table, and then Chili goes off to Bambi. I thought that was cute. Tammy goes to see D. Smith to see why D. Smith didn't come and why Betty acted crazy. D. Smith says that your husband, that's your husband and you should have similar ways or views. I don't think that that's true. I think you can be married to someone but have differences of opinion. That's what individuals are. That's what you still are when you're married to someone. You're individuals. So having differences of opinion, I wasn't vibing with D. Smith when she made that comment. D. Smith got Tammy together though and was like, so you wanted to work with me. And she says, when I walk onto the sidewalk, I'm modeling. Tammy, you can tell Tammy knew what to say to make her look like an asshole, to make Tammy look like an asshole. Tammy knew what to say. Because she started out right away referencing her transition, referencing her hair, referencing her boobs. And I guess she was trying to go for the gusto, but it only leads me to believe that your husband's comments aren't that far off from your mindset. Scrappy talks to Betty about the Tammy situation. He says, you can apologize. And she says that's funny as hell because she's not going to. Bambi is upset that Betty fought Tammy, and Tammy is Bambi's best friend apparently. Scrap sits the girls down to talk. Tommy comes up with a long-ass split, and Tommy gets rowdy. So Tiarra and Tommie talk at the end, and it doesn't end well because even though Tommy had a long-ass split that was past her navel, she was ready to beat Tiarra's ass. If I was Tiarra, I wouldn't bother with Tommy. I just wouldn't. Even though she's ratchet, and some of y'all were like, oh, she got 80 mug shots and da-da-da-da, she still would whoop Tiarra's ass. She did the first episode, or the beginning of the second episode, so if I was Tiarra, I would back away from Tommy. I need to know what you guys think about this particular episode. Leave your comments below. Deuces.
Got a full boat. Let's meet the man.
I was trying to hurry.
I didn't know nothing. All I did was I came. I didn't want to do nothing. I was so hungover. I couldn't do nothing.
There was everything else.
Right.